Hey everybody, Chomsky here. Just wanted to toss out there a video about Basim. Congratulations, you pulled him. I did too. Thank you, Prisms. And and thank you for getting me some more Besses. This way I can empower him. So I did to a +2. But just wanted to talk about him and uh, see where we could potentially use him and just think about some teams that he could go in that could be really useful. So I was really excited. I wanted uh, any of these assassins aside from Cassandra because I am only 25 frags away from getting her. So tomorrow with that summoning doohickey tomorrow, I'm sure I'm going to grab another 25 and grab her. But Edward, Edward seems okay. I saw Ash's video on him, and I'm like, all right, cool. Just basically an attack dealer. He can steal buffs. Not a big deal for me. I just want a little bit more. And was I disappointed I didn't get Bayek? Sure. I think Bayek's going to be ridiculous for those that do get him because like this little this little passive right here uh, just seems ridiculous. But having a decreased accuracy and a decreased resistance, like, whoa. As well as just getting that, just he was one I really wanted. Okay, but I do have a nice. Oh no, I do have uh, Basim, and I'm pumped to have him. You know, I think the dude's really neat because champ training is going on. I got him into 6, and I'm working on masteries with him. I have 2 builds to show you, and I just want to talk about him. So the reason why I was excited to get him is we're going to go through his kit. Uh, A1, attacking twice. He has a chance to put out a weaken. It's 100% if it's under Veil. He also has the potential to toss out a debuff spread, which is 100% if he's under Veil. His A2, he's attacking all enemies. He's going to ignore 15% of each target's defense, ignoring 30 if he's under Veil. Uh, Additionally, uh, basically this dude is going to be bumping out a lot of block active skills because if they are under block debuffs and he is under a veil, then those block active skills are going to be going on them. So block active skills for 2 turns is pretty awesome. Basically, you can't metamorph and you can't use your skills. So wow, that's powerful as a PvP. Even in PvE, I was saddened that I can't really bust him out into Grim Forest yet because I just completed the hard mode and I could take him out in normal, but I really want to see where he could shine and just various content. So I really like his A2 of blocking active skills. That excites me. We have the A3 of attacking one enemy twice, deals 5% more damage for each buff and debuff on this champion and on the target. So he could basically double his damage output based on the buffs and debuffs. And then he also places a perfect veil on him for 3 turns and grants an extra turn. Uh, wow. So I like the mechanic that he could place a perfect veil on himself and it's going to go rather quickly. It's a 4 turn cooldown, but getting that extra turn makes it a 3, and then another skill is 2, and like this has the potential that in any elongated fights, this guy is going to be bumping out a lot of perfect veils, which gets him the block active skills as well as debuff spreads. Additionally, as his passive, whenever he's attacked, he gets to steal a random buff. He also ignores 25% of the target's resistance when using skills if he's under a veil or perfect veil. Okay, so I have 2 builds on him. One, regular stone skin, uh, that is not highly prioritizing accuracy. He's at 363, which is really minimal. Scratch that. Not nearly as effective in PvP. to be 363. That's not a lot. I have him with 348 resistance. I didn't build him with any crit rate. Crit damage is just because I have crit damage gloves. You know, he's not really he's not speeding up way too much. He's at 301. I definitely want faster. But I have him as a go second just this way. Like with Stone Skin, I there's that 50-50 chance, but as a go second to lock everyone out, I felt like that could be a good avenue there. I did take him to live arena earlier today, and I didn't do nearly as well, but that's based on me. Uh, I do have Chrono Cube on him, just a 50% chance to take 2 turns in a row. This was kind of procking early into the matches, so that kind of like thwarted what I was really wanting, which was essentially for when I use the A2 for him to go, with an A1 and then back into here, but it didn't work out necessarily. So that kind of sucked. But that's the idea. Just to get those 2 extra turns, I want to get the block active skills out there as well as, just to spread it out there on those that I'm not successful in placing on there. The thing was, I need him to go stupid fast and to be stupid accurate because as much fun as he looks and might be, he is definitely in my mind just a speed and accuracy dude. Although it is very intriguing that he does have that uh where are you? The A3 here that he has a chance to double up his damage. And I think that's really powerful. And I think Ash had mentioned something about that too, that he's going to be dealing a lot of damage because he's ignoring a third of target's defenses when he's under Veil. So I was like, okay, he's not fully mastered out, and I'm going to go down the attack tree with him. Uh, in my current build with Stone Skin, like I don't have that much crit rate, 21% is not a lot. So it's kind of like, all right, dude, let's see if we could do maybe just something better. And I went with Feral because of all the debuff spreads, right? And I'm not necessarily taking him off people that I really use. I don't use Xenomorph, Lady Areth, uh, Barbarian Dude Man, and then Andrissia I can mess around with. But I like this build here. I lose a little bit of speed. It's not fully glyphed out or anything like that yet. Um, he's still at 15, and like it's okay. But I like this build just because it's a 9-piece feral uh, that allows him to do a little bit more damage too, or my allies a little bit more damage because he's going to be busting out block active skills, and that's going to be at least one debuff there. Uh, Gives them an opportunity to maybe I don't have to bring more a reviver with me or anything like that. So like I think this is okay. I could definitely crit cap them. I could try to get more crit damage as well, but I like the 605. 600 accuracy is nice. He definitely could use a lot more of attack, and he is a glass cannon. So if I'm building my champs strictly for one skill or two skills, I definitely need them to go fast. So I need to prioritize speed and accuracy with them. Uh, right now he's heavy on accuracy and not so much on speed. If I was to take him into arena or anything like that, dude's gonna get dude's gonna get nuked, man. Like 1700 or 1700 defense, 36,000 HP. That's not a lot whatsoever. So I definitely need to crank up the speed. Could I put my uh, the gear I have from Galithar on him, and it essentially, yeah, he'd be basically the same dude. Because with my Galithar, I want to block active skills in his second form. You know, uh, I, stunning everyone is fine, fantastic. He's removing. Like when I do use Star Sage, it's really in Form 2. Form 1 is just an emergency hatch. So when you got Basim, you basically got a tiny Galather in this one because of the block active skills, and it goes through block debuffs. So when you have Star Sage, he's stripping all of that, he's cleansing it. But here with Basim, you don't even need a strip because this is going to go through that block debuff buff. So that is really neat. So you have a micro mythical based on this one skill. And am I being really narrow about it? I sure am. Like we have to worry about affinity, 100%, because dude's gonna be weak. And same thing with Star Sage. He's not a void. But just to have this ability to basically say, Dikembe Mutombo block debuffs, that's huge, man. And I think that he's really, really solid when it comes down to that. Um, so yeah, I'll definitely be looking at my feral stuff that I have equipped on other people. I think I have them with Lydia. If I really want to go nuts here, I would have Basim go first in this hypothetical situation um, of blocking active skills. Of people that are not under Stone Skin, because with Stone Skin, there's still that chance that it says basically no. So I'd have to be fighting up against a team that I'm pretty sure doesn't have Stone Skin. Um, but for him to go first, block active skills, then Lydia just for decreased defense and stuff like that. Um, I may even just toss in Lazurius just to take away their their debuffs. Their the duration of buffs. So that's a potential there. I did take stuff off Andrissia, and why am I in caps lock? But Andrissia does a wonderful Lazurius as well. So if you have her and you haven't built her up, I highly encourage that. She is a wonderful, wonderful champ. I think she's really, really good. Helps out a lot in Curse City as well as Grim Forest. Just not stripping, but decreasing the duration of buffs as well as a stun. And she does smack too. Um, so having somebody like that, maybe going before Basim could be really solid too. So Andrissia, Basim, Lydia, because Lydia is so good in a lot of places. And Lydia strengthens and decreases and increases or tosses out a decrease defense and we don't have to worry about weaken so much, but that's fine. I could have Basim on a Venom Mage or Venom Mage and Xenomorph with poisons, because he's going to be taking one random debuff and tossing it out there on others, and that's pretty big too. I could have him with my Commodus just because of the debuff spread. So he could replace your Mikey in teams. Uh, I don't think you don't put Basim in with your clan boss because black active skills don't matter much there. But I still think it's you put him in a poison team, and that only increases his A3. Like because again it's counting for each buff and debuff. I don't have a blessing on him yet, but you know I Nature's Wrath seems interesting. Potentially getting that going. Heaven Cast if I'm on a buff heavy team. You could have. You don't want. I don't want to put Brimstone on a lot of people just because Brimstone's kind of like blase. Um, but it is interesting if I do have if I do have a sixer on blessings, like this would be really solid if I'm gonna go down the attack avenue with Basim. Um, I frankly one of my blind spots is I get so focused in on one thing that I don't really see the whole picture. And with Basim, I see him as a black active skills. Like that's huge. But he also has this ability that is really incremental. So let's also get in there too. So I don't want to make him like stupid heavy on one part like I did here with going accuracy heavy because we also have this passive of that he is ignoring 25% of a target's resistance. So, like, effectively, this is kind of like a, a quarter percent, a quarter up there. So that's 175, right? Um, Something like that. Here, let's do some. Let me bust out that calculator since I don't know it. 605 times that by 0.25. It's 150. Um, so yeah, that I don't think I need that much accuracy. I could definitely go a little bit more with attack. And you know, like do I need an accuracy banner? Maybe not, but I kind of want to lean into that. So there's Chomsky. He's leaning. Congratulations, you got Basim. I would love to hear how you're building him out because I think that'd be rad. So uh yeah, I'm very optimistic about this character. I don't think he is quintessential, but if you do have him, he's going to make things a lot easier for you. Um, I could also just change this up to, geez, an easy peasy Malefic Talon just to increase that crit damage and stuff like that. I am a sucker for this. If you have Cat's Gaze, that also works. And you know, I'm okay with Malefic Talon. So yeah, that's what I got for you. Congratulations, you get Basim. Uh, yeah, that's all I got. Until next time, take care.